Hello friends, this video on alternating currents part 33 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 32 before going ahead with part 33. So now let us look at another problem which is very much related to the same problem. It says that do the same exercise as above with the replacement of the earlier transformer by a 40,000 to 220 volt step down transformer. That means the step down transformer which we used before, now we are changing its configuration, right? So here we will get some different results. So let us first see what different do we observe here. So in this case, also you have this plant. This is your power plant. This is your substation, and this is the town. So here you have the step up transformer. Here you have a step down transformer. Right? So in the first part, we had to calculate the power loss in the form of heating. So the power loss incurred in the form of heating is I square R. So R we have already calculated in our previous problem, right? So R was the resistance of the net resistance of the wires was 15 ohms. So what would be the value of current here? So in this case, like the way we calculated in the previous problem, like that only here also we'll calculate power needs of the town would be equal to the voltage multiplied by the current. So the current will be equal to power by voltage. What is the power? That is 800 kilowatts, which is the needs of the town. So 800 into 10 to the power 3 divided by voltage. So this voltage now will become 40,000 because here it is 40,000 now. So this will become 40,000. So this comes out to be 20 amperes, right? Therefore, the line power loss will be equal to I square, that is 20 into R, which is 15. So this comes out to be 6 kilowatts. So now if you see here the power loss is considerably reduced from the previous scenario. So we can say that at high voltage transmission, the power loss is reduced. Now let us solve the second part. In the second part, it asks how much should be the essential power supply by the plant. So the essential power supply will be equal to the needs of the town, that is 800 kilowatts, plus the power loss incurred, that is 6 kilowatts. So it should be 806 kilowatts, right? And what about the third part of the problem? It says that it asks us to find out the configuration of the step up transformer. So for that we will find out the voltage drop along the line joining the transformer to the substation. So the voltage drop along the line will be equal to IR, where I is 20 amperes and R is 15 ohms, which is equal to 300 volts. Therefore, the step up transformer should be configured for 440 volts to 40,300 volts. So this should be the configuration of the step up transformer. Now it says explain why high voltage transmission is preferred, because the line power loss incurred here is lesser. Since line power loss is less at high frequencies, or since it is less at high voltage transmission, therefore it is preferred, right? So this is how you will be able to solve problems related to power transmission. So whenever you have problems on power transmission, it is better that you draw a rough diagram like this so that you can visualize the scenario better and then you can approach the problem. So this is how we reach the end of the lesson on alternating currents. So once we have studied all these things, let us get back to the introduction slide. So now if you look at this introduction slide, you will yourself be able to relate how alternating currents play a role in each of these applications. The first thing which you can see here is a radio. So in radio, the tuner circuit, which plays a very important role in playing the radio, and there you have your LC circuit, which is nothing but an AC circuit. Your television sets, where internally you have small transformers to regulate the voltage, so that during voltage ups and downs it should not harm the television should not get damaged. The refrigerators, which again have an inbuilt stabilizer or inbuilt voltage regulator to control the voltage, so that extremely high or low voltage should not damage the device. Similarly, you have your voltage transmission over long distances, which is the most important application of alternating current, and which cannot be taken over by direct current. Any appliances which runs at your home, I mean whatever power supply which see at your home, which runs your microwave or which runs your tube lights, bulbs, or whatever, they are all alternating current. Not only that, even in your cars, you have something called alternators. Right? So inside the car, those alternators are basically used to charge up the battery system of the car, and that is also a very important application of alternating current. So inside your car, you have something called a DC starter. You have application of both DC as well as AC. You have something called as starter, which helps to start the engine. So that is called as starter, which is an application of direct current, where direct current plays a role. Similarly, you have another device called alternator, which is a part of the charging system of the car, which basically charges the battery. So that alternator is nothing but an application of alternating current. So that is how we see that studying alternating current is of extreme use, because it finds application in our day-to-day life. The most important application being the transmission of power transmission being the most important application. And alternating current is not complete without transformers and AC generators. So I hope that some of your basic concepts are clear on alternating currents. So see you all in the next lesson on electromagnetic waves. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.